Rocking the boat, Charles.
Oh, yeah? All right. Okay. All right. Okay. And we're podcasting. Oh, sneak attack podcasting, Sniffy.
Oh, I got Pearl Harbored.
Sniffy didn't know that we were getting going.
Oh, son of a gun.
How in the world are we supposed to be ready with the song when we didn't even know that it was about to start?
Yeah, because when you hear the song, you know it's about to start, and you got to start when you hear the song.
You got to start real quick, and you got to talk real quick. You got to talk about the fleet's loss.
Talk so fast because the fleet lost, and they really blew it there and then, and there's a lot of other causes because of it.
Talking about the fleet. Oh, we're walking down the street, and we're sitting in our seats. But not very often because the defense is always on the field and we have to get up for third down.
Constantly.
But I will give it to the fans. We did get up to get down on third down.
And we shook it around.
Yeah, lots.
And made a lot of sound.
Lots and lots and lots of sound.
We did.
We were loud. We were just watching the replay.
Yeah.
To confirm some of our suspicions. And that crowd.
I was impressed.
Yeah, it was loud when we were there and it was loud on TV.
You know, I'm just going to put this out there.
Yeah.
I double dog dare the other home team's fans.
Yeah.
I double dog dare their fans to get more people in the seats than we did Sunday.
Yeah, I agree. Well, San Antonio's going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, besides
already
San
done
Antonio.
it.
Yeah, besides them.
But yeah.
So I'm talking to you, Salt Lake. I'm talking to you, Arizona. I'm talking to you, Birmingham. And I'm talking to you, Memphis. Oh, wait. And I'm talking to you, Orlando.
Yeah. We beat Orlando, too. Orlando has been a pretty good showing. I think they broke 20 a couple times.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I still think we have the second highest total behind
the number 2 in attendance.
San Antonio. But speaking of attendance, Smithy.
Yes.
I was thinking about this. Well, first of all, welcome to the show.
Hi.
This is The Shipyard. It's a podcast.
All day.
It's about the Fleet football franchise.
All night.
Mostly. And then also about the Alliance of American Football.
All the time.
League. I'm Joe, and that's Brian. Whoa.
Whoa, who's that?
When we lose, you're Brian.
Yes.
When we win, you're Smithy.
Okay. That's fair. I'll take one for the team.
But so speaking of attendance, Smith, little background on me, which we haven't gotten into.
You've got a large back.
I do. Big old back. I apologize to the people who sit behind us. But I work for a professional sports league.
You do?
Yeah. I don't know if people know that. And, you know, in our league, we're at the top of our game. We're in our sport. We're the biggest of them all.
Numero uno.
Yeah. And attendance at our events, if we get 5,000 people,
right? I
mean, that's considered a massive success for one of our events.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it the size of the venues or is it just?
Yeah, just in general. I mean, it's surfing. It's the World Surf League.
A lot of people like surfing.
Yeah. And, but I was thinking about that in context, right? This is a brand new startup league.
True.
And the worst attendance numbers are still almost 10,000 people.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And, like by our standards, that would be a phenomenal turnout.
Very true.
I think the problem is that people are comparing it apples to apples, 1-to-1. And then that amount of people at the particular venue.
Gotcha.
The visuals aren't that good.
No.
But if you look at the shots if you go back and watch the replay of the Fleet game, watch the shots that are facing our end zone where we sit. That thing is packed to the back.
It is.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And it's a 70,000 seat stadium.
Exactly.
It's huge. It's what's the Alamo Dome, like 40? 50?
Something like that.
It's a much smaller stadium. I know that for sure. But anyways, that was just a thought I had on attendance.
No, it's a good thought.
In my opinion, I believe that was actually one of the Facebook questions that we got was pertaining to attendance.
Right.
But in my opinion, I think we're actually doing pretty dang good in the grand scheme of things.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do agree. I mean, like you said, it's the inaugural season of a league right after the NFL season to get, on average, what we're averaging about 20 a game? 20K a game?
Yeah. Yeah, we almost got the 21,000. I'm going to take a moment
We
here.
can actually name probably the 14 individuals that let us down.
Yeah, they're all members of our tailgate crew.
Yeah.
At least 14 didn't show up because they, I don't know, had some boat ride or some boat parade or whatever.
Look, the ocean is always going to be there.
Yeah, very disappointed in you guys.
Yeah, that's bad.
Jeremy, I'm talking about your crew. Please inform them that we are disappointed in them. They could have put us single-handedly over the 21,000 mark.
Yep.
All they had to do was show up.
Yep.
But they didn't.
Nope. Some boat.
Yeah, and we even had tasty pulled pork nachos.
Oh.
So they missed out on that as well.
They did.
So you let all of San Diego down, and you missed out on tasty pork.
And
nachos.
I brought some chewy Chips Ahoy too.
Oh yeah, those are the best kinds of Chips Ahoy.
Oh man.
But anyways, Smithy, we lost, man.
Yeah. There's,
Yeah.
You know what? With every loss, there's something to learn, though.
There is.
And if you don't learn out of something every loss, then you're just dumb.
Well, I've been doing some thinking,
You've been doing some thinking?
and I can pinpoint our loss
Yeah.
on one single thing
Oh,
that led to our loss, Smith.
I'm the same way. I'm curious if mine is the same as
Okay.
yours.
So here are the one single things that led to our loss. Ready?
Okay.
Quarter one, Baugh dropped a wide open touchdown pass in the end zone. Dropped it. As a result, we lose. Quarter one, 3rd and 10. We give up a 19-yard deep pass to Patton. Drive continues. Birmingham goes on to score a touchdown. We stop that play. We win the game. Quarter two, Burko throws an interception intended for LaQuivante Speedy Gonzalez. We don't put up a duck into double coverage, Smithy. We sustain that drive.
Yep.
We don't throw a pick, which leads to iron points. We win the game. Quarter two, we fail to capitalize on Travis Feeney's interception by going 3 and out. We had great starting field position, Smithy, and missed a 47-yard field goal wide left. If we sustain that drive or make that field goal, guess what?
We win the game.
We win the game. Quarter two, BS unnecessary roughness call sustains an iron drive that leads to a field goal. We stop him here. We tie the game, Smithy.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't lose, but we tie.
Right.
Quarter three, another BS roughing the passer call on 3rd and 10. This one more BS than the last one. Instead of getting the ball back, it keeps the drive alive. Birmingham scores a touchdown. We lose the game as a result. Quarter three, Cavici intercepted again in our own territory. Bad pass, good play by the defense. Burko stared him down the entire play. We protect the ball here. We protect the ball here, Smithy. We don't lead to the next reason why we lost the game, and that's right. We win the game, and that next reason is we hold the iron to a 3rd and 10 after that said interception. Passes incomplete. We're about to get the ball back. Illegal freaking defense, which is a 15-yard penalty. Drive sustained. Perez throws another TD pass. We lose the game. We don't commit that BS penalty, or that BS penalty doesn't exist.
Right.
Which is my opinion.
Right.
We win the game. Birmingham has the ball backed up deep into their own territory. Defense holds them to 3 and out. They're forced to punt, roughing the MFing kicker this time, Smithy.
That one was right in front of us, too.
The most BS of all the BS calls in the game. Iron drive is sustained, takes over a minute off the clock. We have that minute back at the end of the game. Perhaps we don't lose the game, Smithy.
Perhaps.
Final drive. Perez scrambles left, whole bunch of yards. Perez scrambles left again, whole bunch of yards. Perez scrambles left again, whole bunch of yards. This time for field goal territory, Smithy. For God's sakes, why can't somebody spy Perez on this game-winning drive?
I've noticed a pattern there.
Yeah, and then when they give it to Richardson, Smithy, Richardson fumbles the ball.
Yep.
The refs didn't blow the whistle, but they call forward progress. They call that correctly as a fumble. Smithy, guess what? We don't lose the game.
That's true. Sounds like, looks like Ed Hockley got a call in there at the end.
But anyways, those are just one of about a billion single things that led to us not winning that game.
Okay, a little different than my single thing.
What was your single thing, Smithy? That was the single thing that I could narrow our loss down to.
Well, I may be a little more succinct than that.
Okay. A little more concise?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Lay it on us.
So I just think the offense's inability to sustain a long drive, control the ball, led to our defense just basically being gassed at the end of the game. And there was just...
They were gassed. And
it was doomed.
Yeah. And they did. They ran it down our throat.
Yeah.
And there was no one on Perez in that final drive.
Yeah. They were so tired, man.
They were toast. No, that's... Yeah. And also, I looked at... I think our longest drive was 6 plays.
That's bad.
In the whole game.
That's bad.
Not good.
That is a recipe for just wearing out your whole defense. Yeah. Also, too, I kind of feel bad because Cam Kelly tweeted after the game, it may have been the next day actually.
Oh, okay.
And saying that he played awful, and I'm speaking directly to you, Cam. You did not play awful at all.
You were on the field.
A lot.
A lot.
There were a couple plays where, hey, you did get beat. That's going to happen. You know, we don't expect perfection. I mean, and even perfection, there's going to be some instances where the other player is just going to get the best of you. You move on, deal with it. But what I got to say, though, Cam, is what I'm really loving about his gameplay is he's really showing himself as a leader on the field, because there was, I don't remember when it was, but things got a little chippy after a play, and Cam ran over to his fellow teammate on defense and was like, hey man, you know, point to his head, keep your head in the game, no stupid penalties. Like that's the kind of awareness.
Well, they really
fantastic.
They really couldn't afford. I mean, there were a lot of defensive penalties. A lot of them were BS, but they were what they were. The one that bugs me the most is, well, there's two that really bug me. The roughing the kicker.
That's the one that kills me, because it happened right in front of us.
We were literally 20 yards away.
Yeah,
tops, and the guy was doing everything he could to not touch that kicker. He had slowed down, and the iron guy behind him pushed him into the kicker, and the kicker flopped.
Well, in addition, prior to the flop, as the kicker was done kicking the ball, he pirouetted into the defensive player.
Yeah. He swung his leg over to our guy on defense. I apologize for not remembering your name. I'm sure he's fine with us not remembering his name right now. But bottom line is Iron's offense was on the field for 36 minutes. Our offense was only on the field for 23 minutes.
Yeah, that just can't happen.
That's just, we couldn't sustain any drives.
No.
We really needed to, and we couldn't. And we got some terrible calls against us.
Yes.
Which led to Iron drives being sustained that otherwise should not have been.
No.
There were a lot of 3rd and 10s or 3rd and longs that were extended because of ridiculous penalties, just or not. In my, I think maybe only one of them. I saw one roughing the passer that I thought was an actual good call.
Right.
It was one where Perez was sliding. He came in late. And he put his shoulder into his helmet. They're going to call that every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
There's no way to get around that. Yeah.
And that was actually not included on my list of one things that lost the game, because that was right. But that it could have been, because it was a penalty that just extended drives.
True. Now having said all that and complaining about some legitimate issues with the officiating.
Yeah.
Had the offense sustained 2 drives?
Yeah.
Those crappy calls wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. Now, a lot of this blame on the internet right now is being directed towards Berkovici.
And I don't think that's fair.
So comparatively to last game, Smith, I think Berkovici had a much better game.
Absolutely.
His accuracy was better. It still needs work. It was definitely better, but there were drops after drops after drops after drops.
It was drop-a-palooza, man.
Yeah. Dropping a wide open touchdown in the end zone, not Berkovici's fault.
I think that happened, right in front of us, too.
No, that was on the opposite end.
There was another one.
It felt like it was right in front of us, because it was heartbreaking.
It might as well have been in the seat next to us.
I think the one you're talking about was there. It was a 3rd and probably 8 or 9, and there was a Spruce just bounced right off his hands. Another drop. There was 8 drops.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of drops, and a lot of them came in crucial situations.
Yeah, definitely one. The first drop that I remember Spruce had was on a 3rd down, and that would have been a 1st down had he caught it.
Yep. Mike Martz said after the game, he's like, basically the only team that can beat us is us.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Yeah, we got some bad calls, but there were a lot of things that could have been improved.
Self-induced. Yeah.
The defense as a whole, I think, played great.
Yep.
But hang on now, Smith. Let's take it on back to the beginning.
All right.
We've gotten a little ahead of ourselves. We're talking about the negative right off the bat. I don't want to be negative.
No.
I'd like to be a positive force for good here at the shipyard.
Exactly.
So
a shining, blickering light.
Let's take it on back to the beginning of the week.
Ooh, we're going to Tarantino it?
We are going to Tarantino this.
All right.
We're going to start with the end and end with the beginning.
And a lot of F words.
We're just going to... Yeah, and talk way too much.
I
wish my vocabulary was better so we could have a...
Exhibit A, exposition.
All right, so... Smith, we had a chance to go to practice this week.
We did.
Which was super cool.
Yeah, I'm still giddy.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun seeing these guys practice. Smith, okay, so what were your just overall impressions of the practice?
Real quick, I want to say the team chemistry seemed amazing.
Yes.
Very good camaraderie going there, especially within those particular sides. So the defensive camaraderie with those and the offense and vice versa, blah, blah, blah. That's great. Blah, blah, blahs and blah, blah, blahs. But also, too, what actually stood out was Berkovici and his reps.
Yeah.
So
he was looking strong and accurate, I have to say, which I think we talked about earlier. Was, a lot, the internet is a buzz on Berkovici's accuracy. And to be honest with you, I don't remember what we cut out and what we kept in this episode so far. So, but by and large, I believe we've already talked about this, but I may have cut it out. I don't think we can pin all that on Berkovici this week.
No.
For sure.
Suffice to say, unless just I'm just not seeing what everybody else is seeing. As the weeks are progressing, he does seem to be improving.
Yeah. Okay, now, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Because we went through the drops and all that good stuff. So, but specifically in practice, Berkovici was looking very, very good. I only noticed one real inaccurate throw, and I honestly would probably be inclined to place that on the receiver just based on the situation.
Yeah, I don't think the route was cut the right way.
Yeah, I think so. So,
but also too, speaking of throws, there was no like dying quail throws or wibbly wobbly balls getting thrown through the air. They did not look like crappy passes.
Yeah, so they were looking pretty decent and pretty strong. Now Ross was getting his reps in. His throwing, of course, he throws harder. He throws the ball harder than Berkovici. There's no getting around it.
No doubt about it. He, I think, has the strongest arm of the quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's got a very, very strong arm. That being said, the defenses were definitely getting a piece of his passes throughout the at least the hour that we were there. The defense was hitting the deck and doing push-ups for dropping interceptions.
They were
on 3 different occasions.
They were.
So now, again, we don't know necessarily what they're playing.
No.
It's a second team rep, so it may have been Marmy testing out some defensive scheme to get an interception. We don't really know.
Exactly.
All we can say is what we observed.
Yep.
And Berkovici was looking very sharp in practice.
He did.
I have to say.
Yeah. I walked out of there, I'm like, this is looking good.
Yep. I was feeling very positive.
Same here.
And, the overall numbers, Berkovici's numbers were really, he had 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards.
Yeah, he was 50%.
He had the 2 picks.
He had 2 picks.
Yeah.
And his completion percentage was 50%. But again, like you said, there's 8 drop passes.
8 drop passes. And that's not on Burke.
No.
It's really not. He should have had 4 touchdowns.
Easily.
Yeah, I will say Baugh in practice pulled down some awesome long practice. He
was stretched out.
Yeah, he was
for
stretched
some of those
out.
Catches.
So in practice, Baugh was like all world.
Yeah, and that's why it was so surprising to see. Like, dude, that's
So that drop would I was like, oh, when I saw that leave his hands, I saw how open Baugh was.
Yeah,
I was like, this is touchdown city.
Yeah, we're like, oh,
and my heart fell out of my chest when the ball hit the ground. But regardless, Smith. So, we did get a chance to talk to some of the players.
Yeah. This is one of the second most thing I've been waiting to do is like we can share this with our audience.
We can record these interviews, share the interviews with you all, and here. That's what they sounded like.
Yeah, so we're not going to share that.
But we did. We got to talk to DeMontre Moore. We got to talk to Tani Tupo.
Yep.
And we got to talk to Shakir Soto.
Yeah,
and we got to talk to Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Who had another touchdown this game.
2 games in a row.
2 games in a row, 2 touchdowns. Ben Johnson has been playing phenomenal.
He has. He's hitting his blocking assignments.
Yep.
He's catching He's doing his job.
Yeah. So one of the things I will note, and I'm a little turned around because I don't remember what we've talked about and what we haven't. Because full disclosure, we just literally recorded for 20 minutes and realized that we were not recording. Rookies. But Smith in the running game, Ben Johnson was doing a lot of lead blocking.
Yep.
And
playing fullback basically.
When he was playing
excuse me. Excuse me, sir.
When he was playing fullback, we were getting much more positive yards than when he was not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's not to say anybody else wasn't blocking. It just so happened is when he was blocking, that's what we were seeing.
Yeah. Now, we talked a little bit about the reps that the QBs were getting in practice. The reps that the running backs were getting in practice pretty much were a reflection of what we saw in the game.
Yeah, almost to a T.
Yeah, 50-50, Gardner Watson with a sprinkling of Bishop Sankey, and that's exactly what we got in the game. And it happened again.
Jeez.
Whoa, good Lord. My puppy is beefing nuts right now.
It's like a Tijuana prison bathroom.
Flop. Oh, my Lord.
Man, it's like
Wow.
spawn of Satan's going to come out soon.
Flop just ripped when she's sleeping and she's just farting up a storm. Wow, what were we talking about? I'm going to have to edit that
I
out.
don't know.
Okay, it's good now. It's gone now.
Man.
Okay. Cut for fart edit. And we're back. So Ben Johnson, awesome.
Yeah.
Now I had him ranked all the way up at number 7 at tight end this week. Smith, that's 3.
Ooh.
I have all 3 fleet tight ends in the top 8.
Top 8, okay.
I at this stage of the game, I'm gonna have to bump up Johnson over Escobar.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, without a doubt, right now he is definitely outperforming Escobar.
He is. And the tight end group, I mean, so Ben Johnson had, of course, he had another touchdown. Now that drive was interesting because and I didn't notice this in the game,
Right.
But he was diving towards the pylon, and apparently he fumbled and the ball went out at like the inch-yard line.
I do remember that. I was kind of hoping that they would replay it and see that he actually did tap the flag.
Yeah.
But he just barely missed it.
But what was encouraging there is they literally went right back to him the next play, and he got his touchdown.
Yeah, that was like a no doubter too. Like there was nobody getting the ball from him on that.
So we did get a chance to talk to Ben.
Yes.
At the practice. Super nice guy.
Handsome young man.
Handsome fella.
Yep.
For sure. But we do have a bit of a retraction to make.
We do.
Well, Brian, you have a bit of a retraction to make.
I do. And I'm going to paraphrase myself.
Okay. Last week.
So last week I said that touchdown was his first catch of the season. I was incorrect.
Yes, you were.
Matter of fact, his first catch of the season is also the very first official catch of the AAF.
That is correct. Ben Johnson has the first logged reception from Berkovici in that game against the Commanders.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a very nice moment.
It was.
And I remember thinking when he caught that ball, Ben Johnson, that's our third string guy. And they've already got him involved in the passing game, like right off the bat.
Well, what I was thinking, Ben Johnson, he's a great character actor. And we can cut right there because that's a movie ref. Yeah.
Flew right over my head.
Ben Johnson is a prolific character actor, mostly in Westerns.
Oh.
Yes. And I think he actually had a bit part in Red Dawn, the original Red Dawn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm completely off track. I have no idea what we're talking about now.
So back to practice.
Way to go, Brian.
We're just losing every bit of the way.
So back to practice. We're talking to Ben, and good dude.
Yeah.
He has no idea who we are or why we're talking
whatsoever.
to him. But it was fun to talk to him, regardless. Super nice guy. We talked to him a little bit about, just the tight end group as a whole,
right,
and how well they've been performing.
Yes.
And of course, he was very humble in his answers.
Oh, yeah.
He did not traditionally get a lot of passing reps in his collegiate career.
Okay.
He'd been much more of a blocker, which explains, I think, why he did so well as a fullback.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Big fan, Ben Johnson. Keep it up. I'm going to have to move.
Dude.
I'm bumping him up in the rankings.
I'm going to see if he's actually a free agent.
He's probably a free agent.
So that's going to be a pickup. And I'm going to,
because I don't see that. I don't see his involvement going down.
I don't either.
Yep.
My hope is that actually there's two hopes here. That the first one is that the rest of the players in the league don't listen to this show. And then the second half of that is
they all do.
Son of a gun.
Yeah.
Because the plan is to wait till
we'll delay the release until after waiver period.
Thank you, because I don't want to pay for it.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Because playoffs are coming.
All right.
I'm going to need all that. Not that I have anything that I wouldn't pay for it, but it's like it's part of the strategy, man. I got so much so much cash left here.
No, I know. So speaking of, let's do a little fantasy segment here.
Yeah.
So the fantasy gods are against me, Smithy. So I had dropped. Now this is on me,
right?
But I had been playing Luis Perez all season.
Oh yeah,
and of course he was benched for Price.
Yeah.
Now Price then suffered, I think, a minor injury.
Oh, man.
And what entered into our game was a very angry Luis Perez.
Clearly, because he got his first 3 touchdowns
and like 380 yards.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm gonna put her to bed. And we're back. My puppy Flop has just been ripping ass all night, and it has been killing our production.
Man,
but thank God she did, Smith. Because
like we were partying all night with Ernest Borgnine.
if Flop had not been ripping the amount of booty that she has been all night, we would not have realized that we were not recording for a solid 20 minutes.
That's a good point. That's a good
so
point.
Thank you and your stinky little ass.
Yeah.
Tiny puppy.
Oh, boy.
Anyways. So, Smith, we were talking about an angry Luis Perez.
He was beside himself.
Yeah, but before that, we were talking about practice. Now, a lot of people, this is really the first kind of media thing that we've actually really done.
That's true.
Someone had tweeted earlier this week, they said that they would just love to see us in a post-game interview just once. How many retweets do you think that would take to achieve such a thing?
Yeah.
Well, we've actually had our media credentials the entire time. A lot of the podcasts have had media credentials, which is awesome.
Exactly.
Right? But we have not acted upon them yet.
No.
And I think it's because we kind of go pretty hard being fans.
Fanboys. Yeah.
Yeah, we really enjoy just being the regular fan experience.
Yeah, watching the game, yelling,
doing the tailgate.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, I had a giant foam aircraft carrier on my head this game, Smith. And I don't think they would have let me into the press box with that aircraft carrier on my head.
Hey, don't cut yourself short.
Had to do some weigh-in. Yeah. Aircraft carrier head, press box. Aircraft carrier head, press
I know
box.
what's going to win in my book every day.
Aircraft carrier head is going to win every time. Yes. By the way, those if you haven't seen it, the fleet posted the official attendance numbers, and it's us. It's a shot of us, me wearing the aircraft carrier hat. Which I believe are being dubbed shipheads.
Shipheads.
And I believe the domain has been purchased. Oh, I know, Noodles. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. You wanted to buy that domain.
The domain has been purchased, SD Shipheads, and I believe that's where those are going to be available for purchase in the future.
Hey, that's awesome.
If you did want a foam shiphead, SDshipheads.com is where to get that.
So get your ship together.
Yeah.
And go over.
But those dudes are super cool. We met them at the tailgate. Mm-hmm. They hooked me up with a foam ship head, and as a result of that, Smith,
right?
Charlie Ebersol, came right up to us.
Yeah, Charlie wanted to have a little powwow.
He did. I was like, or I don't know who spotted him first.
I did.
So Smithy saw him, and he's like, "Oh,
here comes
that's Charlie Ebersol." Yeah. I was like, "Oh yeah, he's walking by. Let's shout at him as drunken fans tend to do." But no, we then realized that Charlie was beelining it straight for us.
Yes.
He specifically wanted to come over to tell us that he loved the shiphead hat.
Right.
And he gave me a little AAF pin.
Right.
And we got to talking, and he was just a super cool dude.
Yeah, he said he loved what we're doing.
Yeah.
He appreciates it.
Yeah, we said, this is our podcast called The Shipyard, and this is kind of like the section. He's like, this is all phenomenal. I love what's happening.
And then I handed him a Chris 5.
And then, that's right, Smithy did hand a well-deserved Chris 5.
Very well-deserved.
To Charlie Ebersol, which is photographed on Getty Images.
It is.
The process of him receiving the 5, looking at the 5, and belly laughing at the 5.
I didn't see any of those.
Yeah.
I just saw the one where he's shaking hands, and he's got the Chris 5 down in his hand, holding it down. That's the only thing I've seen.
No, they're all there. It's just I don't know how to get them unwatermarked.
Oh, okay.
Because the watermark is literally right across all of the action.
That is just silliness. Come on, Getty Images.
Yeah, and I was like, I think you actually literally have to pay like $500 per image if you want to use it or something like that.
Ridiculous. So. It's not even. They don't even use real film anymore.
Yeah.
So it ain't processing.
Silly.
But I have to say,
yes.
That belly laugh of his was a legit laugh. It wasn't one of those I'm going to patronize you laughs.
Yeah.
It was a legit laugh.
Yeah. So as a result, he did request to receive a shiphead hat.
Yeah.
And so we'll be talking with the guys who make them to get them over one.
Yeah, so we got some, some contact deets with the old commish.
Yeah. And also, but a cool thing to come out of practice was we got to talking to Shakir Soto.
That's right.
In addition to DeMontre Moore and Tani Topu, sorry. So 2 cool things from all of this.
Oh, yeah.
One is we have some awesome giveaways this week.
We do. These are pretty cool.
Yeah. So we have gloves from DeMontre Moore and Tani Tupo to give away this week. We'll be announcing that on the Twitter, and that'll be our next giveaway. We're going to do 2 winners, so we'll give away both sets of the gloves.
To 2 different people.
To 2 different people. And in addition to that, next week, Smith, we've got Shakir Soto coming on the show for another Hodads episode.
What?
Yeah. He is absolutely killing it. He's the number 1 rated interior defensive lineman pass rusher in the entire AAF right now.
By far.
Dude's got NFL written all over him.
Yeah, I would not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, good on him.
Yeah.
He may not be with the team next year.
Yeah. He's been absolutely killing it. And we're super excited to have him on the show next week. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. So button up your pants.
Yep.
Get a drink, settle down, get ready.
Yeah. It's going to be glorious.
Oh, yeah. There was another issue with our press passes.
Yes.
About, going to the after game press, whatever they call those things.
Sure.
We just can't find where to go.
Yeah, we literally we did actually go get we went and got our press passes this week for the first time, and we got to the end, and Smithy and I were like, oh man, should we hit up the post-game interview?
Let's do it. Yeah.
And we kind of look at each other and we're like, we literally have no idea where to go to get to the press interview. So we're going to need to take a little.
It's a big stadium.
It is a big
Can't
stadium.
blame us.
Yeah. But regardless, it's a tough balance.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to do the whole media thing because we love just being fans.
Exactly.
And maybe the balance is that we can do the media thing during the week. Hit up some practices.
Yeah.
And then we just have our whole fan experience, which we hold near and dear to our heart. And I don't want to ruin by being the man in the press booth.
Right.
Really, it's not. I just want to show up and cheer.
Same here, man. I want to go to the games. I want to enjoy the games.
Yeah.
Do all the fan things that fans can do at a game.
Yep.
But I have to say, even at practice, it was hard to, like, when you saw, like, dude make a great catch or something, it was hard not to, like,
jump out of our seats and be like, whoa! Yeah, so it's a little tough. It's a little weird for us to remove the fan hats for a little bit.
Very hard. Kind of a segue, though, at the practice field there.
Yeah.
If anybody was ever wondering what happened to all the palm trees at Qualcomm Stadium when the Padres left, because remember they had all the palm trees in the outfield?
I don't.
Okay. Listeners, if you remember all the palm trees that there was out in the outfield, by the outfield wall, when the Padres still played at Qualcomm, I found them.
Yeah, they're in the practice.
They're at the practice field.
They're at the along the side of the practice field in what looks to be 50-year-old wooden planters.
Yeah. And, you know what? And they're not dead.
No, they're alive and thriving somehow.
So if you're feeling nostalgic, just pay a visit. Pour one out for the old palm trees.
Yeah,
they're still there. They're still living.
I don't remember those. I don't think I ever saw a Padres game at the Qualcomm.
Oh,
yeah,
it's quite the thing.
It was before my time here in the old, beautiful San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Well, you can find probably some Getty images of.
I'll find some. I'll pay $500 to look at a Getty image of one of those situations.
Yeah, or you can just Photoshop one in.
So the other thing that stood out to me at practice, and I don't remember if this got cut off or not. It probably did.
Probably.
We're just going to call this episode repeating ourselves. Yeah. But you had talked that Cam Kelly had tweeted a little bit about him being disappointed in his play.
Yeah, he tweeted out that he had an awful game, and I have to say, sir, you did not.
He really didn't. He played very well. And the one thing that stood out to me is at the very end of practice, Cam had just come off the biggest game probably of his career.
Oh yeah,
collegiate or otherwise.
Yeah,
and did his media interviews and came over to us to make a point to say hi.
Yep.
Which was awesome.
Yep.
And then right to the jugs machine for post.
For more.
The last guy off the field.
Yeah.
Working on those hands, working on more practice.
Absolutely. This guy, you know what, especially this last game on Sunday, to me, he definitely showed himself as a leader on that defense.
Yeah.
Not the leader, but definitely a leader. I'm surprised he's not like co-captain or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know if they've officially awarded captains.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think he does walk out at the beginning.
Okay.
But I don't see any captains patches.
Okay.
This is league wide.
Yeah.
I don't see any captains patches.
That's right.
Across the entire league. But
if I was coach, I would make him at the very least a co-captain.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's showing some serious leadership out there.
Yep. Agreed. Big fans of Cam Kelly here.
Another
obviously.
handsome fella.
Oh, my goodness. Adorable.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, Smith, where are we at in this fine episode of ours?
Were we supposed to do like any shout outs or anything like that this episode?
Were we?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah.
I may have gotten cut out.
I think you're right.
No, I know for sure we haven't done it.
Okay.
So actually, this is actually pretty cool because it is relevant to what we've been talking about.
Okay.
So my old next door neighbors, I used to live a block away from Qualcomm Stadium.
That's right.
And I sold my place. You know, one of the reasons, there's many reasons why I sold my place, but one of them was
because of the neighbors.
The Chargers were gone. No, the neighbors. But my neighbors were awesome, right?
Right.
And the allure of the house just wasn't quite the same with the Chargers not being in there anymore and everything like that. Unbeknownst to me, we're getting a new team. House would have been great. Being right there again. But the beautiful thing about the team coming here is that I've gotten to hang out with my old neighbors again.
Yeah.
Who are some of my favorite people in the history of the world.
Right.
And that's just, that's the only reason why I'm getting to hang out with my neighbors right now is because we're going and tailgating and literally the fleet has brought us back together. Aww. So they have been giving me a hard time because I have not yet shouted them out. So Evan and Jazz, my favorite neighbors of all time, here's your shout out. I love you guys.
Hi. From Smithy.
Yeah.
Shout
bring out. Meat next time.
Yeah.
And beer.
And beer.
Yeah.
oh.
Anything else?
And some potato chips.
Sure.
And if you can.
Any other requests?
And if you have time, some dip.
Did you get all that, Jazz? Okay.
All right, cool.
All right, great.
Awesome. You got like 3 weeks for this.
So, Smith, we've talked about the loss. We've talked about the things we've done. We've talked about the practice. We've talked about the game experience.
A lot of talking.
We find ourselves in a situation here.
We do.
We're now tied. We're no longer. So we dropped that game. We really shouldn't have dropped that game.
Correct.
Should have won it.
Correct.
We would have still been tied in first, but now we find ourselves tied in second with the Hot Shots. We're playing the Hot Shots this week.
Yep.
The dastardly command dorks of San Antonio are Noodles cannot handle the fact that they're in first place right now.
Nope.
And she is whining in the background about it. Yeah, she's just beside us. She's like, are you about to talk about the Commanders? Are you about to talk about how they're in first place?
Yeah. Do we have to? Yes. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. We do have to talk about it. And
all right.
And much to Noodles' dismay, Smith, we find ourselves suddenly in a crazy situation. It's funny how this just snuck up on you. It's already week 7.
Yeah.
Playoff race is hot underway.
It is.
And basically, we have to win out if we want any chance of a home playoff game.
Right.
And the Commanders have to lose at least one. Looking at the schedule, the fact that the Commanders just went on a 4-game road stretch, and came back with only losing one of those.
Game, yeah.
Have to hand it to them. That's pretty good.
That is really good.
We've got 3 straight road games.
Yeah. And so far, the team has yet to win on the road. Yeah.
Against Arizona, who just beat Orlando, and then against Salt Lake, who played us very tough at home.
Right.
And then against Hot Shots. Well, that's this week.
Yep.
So I got that order wrong. But those are the 3. Oh, no, I said Hot Shots, Salt Lake, and then we go to play Orlando.
Correct. That's the
who obviously has been very good this season.
Exactly.
So we have a very, very tough schedule. And then we finish it up at home against the Hot Shots.
Yeah.
So we regardless, we have to take both those Hot Shots games.
Well, and it's kind of funny too. Let's just say San Antonio just goes on a bad run. That last game of the season against Arizona may be that deciding game if Arizona.
It could.
Is,
so if Arizona, let's say we beat Arizona and then they win the next two.
Yep.
And the Commanders drop a couple. Like this could be down to the wire. I have no idea how the tiebreakers are going to work to decide who gets home field in the playoff. But it's very real possibility that we could end up in a 3-way tie for first.
Oh, totally.
It's possible, I think. If you do the math.
I hope the first tiebreaker is points.
Yeah.
It's probably division record though.
It might be.
But and then second maybe points, but which is in our favor because
would that be overall points or points against?
Probably points against
that particular team that we're breaking a tie.
That would be my guess, but I've been wrong. You know, I got Ben Johnson's catch wrong. So
yeah, that's true. You did. So,
but no, but if it is overall points, San Diego's second in most points scored in the league.
Oh,
so
well, that could be good. Yeah, that could be good for us. But so it's looking pretty. I mean, this is going to be a tough stretch.
It would, yeah. This
is not going to be. No one's cruising to this. To the playoffs here in the West.
No. And you know what? To be honest with you, even Orlando can't cruise either.
Yeah.
So I mean,
now that they dropped that one,
it's a different division, but
Iron beat us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The East is a pretty tight race too.
It is. So it 7 games into the season. Well, 6 weeks under the belt, but coming into the 7th week, it's already feeling like a playoff kind of atmosphere.
Yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about that Orlando Hot Shots game, because I do feel like the Hot Shots kind of got away with one here. Mm-hmm. They didn't really play all that great.
Yeah.
I mean,
neither team really
their
did.
defense played pretty well.
Yes.
They got a key player back on their defense.
Right.
I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but the way that Orlando was coming back at the end.
Yeah.
They didn't get set, and they were literally about to win the game.
Correct. And
the offensive line did not get set.
So they got the false start.
And they got a false start.
Yeah.
And that lost them the game. So Orlando was, if Garrett Gilbert had waited 2 seconds
right
before snapping that ball to stop the clock.
Totally.
And he had time to do that.
Yep.
Or if the offensive line had just gotten set.
Different.
Yeah, Orlando would still be coulda, woulda, shoulda. But I'm just saying, Hot Shots kind of snuck one out there.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, and maybe I'm homering it a little bit here, but I think the Iron snuck out with one this weekend too.
Yeah, I agree.
The Iron are definitely very beatable.
Yeah, and we just gave up way too many points.
Yeah,
and it's not that we gave up so much points. It's just that our defense was on the field constantly.
Just too long.
But San Antonio's defense has been playing much better since they played against us.
They have.
I have to say.
They definitely have.
And the fact that they took that road stretch the way they did, going 3-1, is pretty dang good.
That's impressive.
Hopefully we can take a page from that book and win out our 3 that we've got coming up.
Well,
but it's going to be tough.
They set the table. Now just time for the fleet to get up there and eat.
That's right.
I don't know what the hell that means, but
it sounded good.
It sounded great.
Speaking of great, Smithy, our Facebook page, or group, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
Is thriving.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they've asked some questions.
They love asking questions.
We hit up the Facebook group, as we always do, for questions. So Chris Murray, he says, have we noticed that the backs, as in the running backs, our running backs, are always open?
Can I take this one?
Please do.
Yes.
Yeah, they're open.
A lot.
But we don't hit them as much as we should.
No, I would be abusing that.
Yeah.
But we're not.
No. So, but when we do, they typically go for decent gains. This last game, let's see, how many receptions do we have to our running backs? So we had 2. Gardner got 2, so only 4 receptions, but Gardner had a ripped one off for 25 towards the end of the game, which was a clutch game.
Oh yeah,
clutch play for Gardner.
Speaking of clutch,
yes.
Sorry, I'm segueing here, but what a hell of a game by Ford, huh?
Oh my God, how have we not talked about Ford yet?
Yeah,
Dude,
Jeez.
Ford was electric.
He was. And I was worried because when he came out for halftime, I think he was the last to come out from halftime, and he was limping. So he was already a that great up. Catch.
Yeah. So initial reports are that he's going to be okay.
Nice.
Should be back next week.
Awesome.
But we've heard that before, and then guys have sat out. So
that's true.
So we'll see. I hope we get him back because he was absolutely
on fire.
Freaking amazing.
Yeah. It's like he was getting shot out of a cannon from a ship.
Yep. And those were those were mid-range, shortish passes.
Totally.
And that was, let's just see, he had 122 yards after the catch.
That is just ridiculous.
His long was 72, 182 yards on 3 receptions, 4 targets.
Can those Birmingham Iron DBs tackle?
Yeah, well, that's not even. He was just outrunning them.
He was definitely outrunning.
And then the safeties would get him at the very. I felt bad because he was this close.
So
he was
close.
shoestring away from 2 touchdowns, and that would have been just the best performance of all time.
Yep.
He absolutely came through, and I have to say, I played a lot of Berkovici Ford stacks in my fantasy daily fantasy this week.
Nice.
And I made myself a nice little chunk of change.
Well, look at you, sir.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah.
No, I ended up cashing in 12 different tournaments.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and all of them were just incremental. Like I didn't win. I won a couple small ones, but overall, I'm up on the season now.
Nice.
Approximately $135, Smithy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do we need an intervention?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm doing all right.
All right.
Yeah, it's a slow gain.
Right.
But
slow burn.
Slow burn. But I'm now up overall in the season about $135.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm very happy with that.
I like it.
If you're not playing over on Fanball, please do so I can come take your money. I am much better at this than you probably are.
Oh.
No, that's not true. I just have, very little life, and I spend a lot of time looking at all these things. But I digress.
We do.
Any other questions? Any other questions we should tackle from the Facebook group?
Actually, let's see. I do want to say Thomas Evans has a question where, what does this loss do to Berkovici's NFL stock? I'm going to say probably not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because be honest with you, I don't think wins or losses are going to matter too much to any potential NFL teams. I think it's what it's going to be is obviously it's probably going to be stats, but also too, they're going to be looking at tape and how they perform in certain situations.
Right.
I think that's going to be the more important thing.
I 100% agree. I think they're going to be looking at his accuracy. They're going to be looking at the way he's playing in different scenarios.
Totally.
And that's going to determine whether or not he gets another shot in the NFL.
Yep.
My personal opinion, he's probably not there yet.
Not yet.
But he is improving every week.
Yeah, man.
And I don't think we're going to be able to make that call until the end of the season.
Exactly. You know what? And barring any injuries, keep my fingers crossed, knock on wood and all that stuff. I hope he does not get hurt. I think we're going to continue to see that progression of improvement.
Yep.
So,
Smithy, who would be your NFL locks league-wide for the season so far? If you think they're going to be in the NFL next year.
I'm going to, and this obviously is up to week 6. I can't predict the future as far as the rest of the season, but my locks so far, so I got to say Soto, man.
Yeah.
Soto for sure. I bet you anything, DeMoster is going to get some looks.
Yeah, he's right up there in the top of the rankings. If not signed
again, because he has been in the NFL.
Yeah, and succeeded.
And succeeded. So I wouldn't be surprised if he finds himself back. I'm going to miss the guy.
Yeah. Speaking of nice guys, can we go back to practice for a second? Like, how nice was that group of defensive linemen? They were so happy to see 2 random,
bearded fat dudes.
Giant bearded fat guys at practice.
Yeah.
They were genuinely so excited to see us.
Yeah. I even got a hug from Moore.
Yeah, it was great. But I'm just super excited to see what those guys are going to do. I think my locks would have to be from our team. I think Moore, Soto are going to get very strong looks. I think also Cam Kelly is going to get a very strong look.
I think so too.
League wide, I got to go Carter Schultz and of course Garrett Gilbert.
Oh yes, and then Jackson from Memphis on the defense.
Oh yeah, Drew Jackson. I'm sorry, Drew Jackson, for forgetting you. You are for real.
I bet you. I bet you right now he's forgiving, because he may be like just
I'm sorry, Drew Jackson.
He may be like the baddest guy on the field game day, but after game, I bet you he's a big old teddy bear.
Probably. And then I think the other offensive guys, I think Rashard Ross out of the Hot Shots and Charles Johnson.
I can see that. Yes.
They've been the most consistent wide receivers in the league.
And I do have to say this. If Ben Johnson's play stays at the level that it currently is, I would be shocked if there's not some type of invite.
He has been extremely well-rounded and shown skill in every element of his game.
Yes, because as we know, the NFL is cyclical, especially on offenses. They've gone away from that fullback run style play. Almost every single team has done that. However, as defenses adjust to that, now the offenses will make the appropriate adjustment and bring that back. I'm not saying that is exactly what's going to happen, but when they see his skills that he's blocking, he can catch, he can, disrupt. Oh, we got to cover this guy now. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he gets. I would be more shocked if he didn't get any invites.
It's going to be really interesting at the end of the season watching all the people getting invites at the NFL camps. In fact, that's probably what the podcast is going to turn into at the end of the season.
Probably.
One of the questions we've gotten is, what in the world are we going to do at the end of the season?
Yeah.
I think we follow our guys through NFL training camp.
Oh,
maybe we don't go every week.
Right.
But we keep it, we do it every other week, something like that. And we follow the Fleets players as they try to make it up in the NFL teams and talk about that.
There's going to be some tears shed. There's going to be some heartbreak. Obviously, I love all the dudes on the team. Yeah. So it's going to be a bummer if they leave, but I'm going to feel good for them, especially, making it to the big show.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. So, Smith, I like feeling good.
Me too.
You know what makes me feel good?
Biscuits?
No. Having an awesome beard, Smithy.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. This is the end of our show, Smith. We have arrived.
But it's never the end of our beards.
That's true. Of course, we are talking about thebeardclub.com, our beloved sponsor. Head on over to thebeardclub.com. Smith, get yourself some quality beard care products.
Yes. One of these days, your beard may look like Alex Ross's. But until then, go get those beard care products.
Beard care products.
Beard care products. The D was a little silent on that.
We are the boys at the yard, my friends. Find us on the Instagram, the YouTube, the Twitter. Give us a follow if you please. Or not. That's cool. Yeah. It's up to you.
We don't want to force you.
Nah. I mean, we might be a little disappointed in you. But we'll never force you.
Never, ever. You can guarantee it.
Thank you for listening. We are the boys at the yard. Our milkshakes are better than the Commanders, except for in the standings of the AAF currently.
You're damn right they are.
Boop. Boop.